Well, thanks for joining me, Patrick.
Man, it's good to be here with you, brother.
Yeah, man, it's been a second. I kind of like passed each other at RoofCon, but I don't think we ever made anything work.
Yeah.
So yeah, how's IRE been for you?
So IRE is great. You know, when you come out here, you're a little bit overwhelmed when you step on this floor because it's just a sheer number of booths and people.
Yeah.
I have to sometimes wonder, though, who uses all these products? Because you'll see some big booth and it's a product I've never heard of before. One of the things I like about you all is you've been around here a while now. And you'd be able to build relationships with contractors. I see some of these booths that they'll be here 1 year, they're gone the next. They'll spend 30 grand on a booth and you wonder where these people disappeared to and they're no longer around.
Right.
But either way, it's overwhelming when you walk in here.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you guys have a booth this year?
No booth this year. I want to walk around. And then also we're doing some work with Tamko.
Yep.
And proud to be doing some stuff with them. They've got their new line of Titan XT and some of the great stuff, the Edge product.
Yep.
They've really revamped their brand and they've really done an amazing job. So we're doing some content for them this time around too.
I've heard today, because I had a little bit of a fiasco last year, I've heard they've really kind of leveled things up in the last 12 months or so.
I get lucky enough now to where our team is going out there and working with contractors who are actually working with their product.
Yep.
And these contractors are not paid. And so we get to hear their honest opinion with a camera in their face. And every single one of them have said amazing things. So that crew over there, John and everyone, and Fallon on their marketing team and Chris, they've made that switch. They've turned that ship. And it's pretty cool to see. Good to be part of.
Yeah. I think that's a sign of a really good team is like, you know, you can mess up sometimes. No one's perfect.
Right.
And like sometimes you don't get it quite right. But if a company can take that feedback in stride, turn it around and drive, you know, improvement off of that, I think that says a lot about a team.
Well, I think it says a lot about if I was, you know, sometimes I want to be the one asking the question, so I'll turn it around a little bit on you. One of the things about you all is that when you run a CRM, there's going to be criticism. And what I love about what you have done is I'll get onto these message boards and Facebook groups and stuff. There'll be someone who says something about ProLine. You're jumping right in there to address it right away. These other CRMs, sometimes my grandmother would say, are too big for the britches type. They don't want to get involved at the granular level with a contractor. You all say, hey, we're working on that right now. I saw that error. I'm glad you brought it to our attention. You told so-and-so about it. They're working on it right now. I see it all the time. I send it out. When someone says something, you address it right away. You don't see that with CRMs a lot right now. You don't see that a lot with the big boys.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you pointing that out. It's tough. It's hard because like when you see that, you're like, you really just want to walk away. You don't want to engage. But the thing, so one of our core values is speak up.
Mm-hmm.
And well, there's two core values that go hand in hand. One of them is speak up, which is our whole team, and this applies to our customers as well, our users as well, is we want everyone to take that step. So if there's an issue, say it. It's everyone's responsibility to speak up and say it. And the other core value that goes hand in hand with that we have is seek understanding. And so we believe that if you can have both, if you can both as a team and an organization seek understanding and then also speak up, then you have we want those problems to come to the surface because we want to fix them. We want to understand them and we want to then address them. And if we can bake that into our culture now as we start to grow, because we're growing very quickly, if we can bake it in now and maintain that indefinitely, I think the sky's the limit. I think that's the piece that is one of the pieces of any company that I think is hardest to scale is that connection back to your users or your customers.
Yes.
So, and that's the thing that I've really narrowed in as CEO is how do I make sure that no matter how big we get, our users feel like there's somebody listening and not just listening, but also capable of taking action. Because that's the other side too. You can have people that are listening, but if nothing happens when those things get brought to light, it's a little better, but it's not really the solution either. So
I saw, the Ritz-Carlton. You hear about their $2,000 thing with all their employees?
No.
So in the Ritz-Carlton, if you're a Ritz-Carlton employee, every employee is empowered up to $2,000 to solve a problem for a guest. And their core value is that they are ladies and gentlemen, serving ladies and gentlemen. And if you want to feel like, hey, listen, I can serve this person who might be a high-end client or somebody there, I want to feel empowered to do something about the problem. I don't want to feel like I have to go to 3 levels of bureaucracy to get a result. So when you're an employee at the Ritz, they tell you, take charge, take action, understand what the problem is, and then solve it for them. Don't sit there and have to, well, I got to get a manager. I got to go to this person. I got to go through 3 levels. Maybe I'll get back to you tomorrow. What's your room number again? So I think what you all are doing is very similar. You're empowering people to actually do something about the problem, not just talk about it. And so, yeah, it's great service. And then what you said about seeking to understand, seek to understand, not to be right.
Yeah.
Well, when you get onto some of these message boards and you see what people say about your competition, I'll see them jump down their throat. Like, hey, no, you don't understand. If you did this, this, and this, why don't you understand what the problem is and then try to solve it? And I think over the last couple of years, what ProLine has probably done better than anybody else is you've understood the problem of the contractor, and then you go out there and you solve that problem. Let's not try to make it more complicated than what it is.
Yeah.
And so if you're reinventing, you're making it better, man. I personally don't use the service, but I know our contractors do. It's a different service now than it was 2 years ago.
Very different, yeah. And it's going to be very different in 2 years as well.
It's got to be.
One of the recent examples that I've been talking about that I really liked is, so we have an idea board where all of our users are able to, everyone gets to add ideas to it. And I personally review each and every idea that comes through. And then once it goes out on the idea board, all of our users get to vote. And
that's awesome.
So it's a meritocracy, and we actually get to see like what is most valuable to our users. And the item that was at the very top of the list, it was the ability to CC additional people on sending quotes and invoices. And it was one of those features that like our whole team was like, we do not want to add this. It's such a boring ad. Like we're going to spend a week working on this, and it's going to suck. And there's nothing exciting. It's not going to help sales, right? But we're like, no, this is how we operate. This is what makes us different, is the fact that this is what our users are saying is most important to them. So we're going to do it. Even if it's not, maybe it's not a flashy AI thing or the thing that's going to help us win sales right now, but it's the thing that our users really need. And so like that listening is where we want to focus on.
I'd be interested to see what you say about this. When we're out with contractors, I see this so often. They will tell us that they're not happy with their CRM. Let's just truly say they're not happy with it. We'll go down that route first.
Yeah.
But the problem they have is that they feel scared, nervous, a level of anxiety about all the work it's going to take to move from where they're currently at into a program like a ProLine.
Yep.
What do you tell those people? I'm curious, like, do you have teams that help them? Do you, because you've got to see this problem more than once.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's a tough thing. Right? The toughest part of this process is that switch, because this is the core of your business. And so I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say that it's gonna be easy, because it's not. It's especially larger teams, like it's a lot of work. The thing is like it has to make sense. If you are losing money on a regular basis because you don't have the automated sales follow, or you don't have the organization that you need, or you're not able to customize a CRM, or you don't have that support, then you got to look at how big is this problem for us, and then you got to track that and be like, yeah, it's going to take 30 to 60 days of really hard work. No, like these 2 people on our team are basically just going to do the CRM stuff for the next 2 months. And yes, that sucks, but also how much are you going to win in the long run?
Whoa.
And so I think that's part of it. But as far as like, what do we do to help? We have a very in-depth onboarding process that our team walks through and empowers the contractors to get everything set up. We do an initial kickoff, then we do unlimited hour-and-a-half long sessions to do additional setup. Then even after onboarding is complete, we offer unlimited support calls. So you call us up, you get on calls as much as you need to, as well as support chat. And we have support that responds in less than 5 minutes during business hours. So you have this massive amount of support that we're scaling with our team. So we're maintaining a ratio of our support team to contractors.
Got it.
That allows us to maintain that. It's not just that we're small or something, like we can maintain that long term. So we have this massive amount of support. And then on top of that, we have our certified partner program that we're building out. We now have multiple certified partners that can do the implementation for you. So even if you don't, we'll guide you through it. We'll teach you everything and walk you through it step by step. But if maybe you just don't have the time, no one on your team has the time, or you're just not confident in your ability, you can work with one of our certified partners and they can actually do it for you as well.
That's awesome.
So, and then the last part of that, and we have to stay very far from this because for legal reasons, we cannot be touching another platform, right? We can't help you move any of your data. However, we have third-party partners in our ecosystem who can, because they're a contract, they're unaffiliated with us. So we have multiple third-party contractors that you can engage that will help you actually migrate your data as well, so that you're not missing anything. And they can do it with all the platforms. So like, yeah, some platforms are a little tougher than others, right? As we talked about, but at the end of the day, like, it is your data. There's always a way, and there are multiple teams out there that we work with that we can make referrals to that can help you with that data migration process. So
awesome.
We have everything covered. Is it going to be easy and quick? No, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but the resources are there. So if it makes sense, and like, if selling more jobs is your thing, we can help you make it happen.
I got a personal question for you, because I wanted to know this, especially now. When you're starting ProLine, I'm sure there's got to be a point where you're like, is this going to work? Like, I mean, like, you're going against $100 million, $1 billion companies in an industry where you're the small guy, right? I'm curious, how many times have you had to swallow your pride to get to where you are right now? Because I think, like, so many small business owners out there, they think like, man, I've been in business for 4 years. I shouldn't have to do this anymore.
Yeah.
But you all, I mean, it seems like you just adjust and you move forward. And especially when you're competing against these big guys that are out there right now. And I'll be honest, I've been at times where I've seen you all just pressing forward. You're at all these shows. You're continuing in this industry to build the name against some of these big boys that have been around a lot longer. It's got to be tough, though, swallowing your pride so many times to build something like you are right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, the most valuable characteristic that you need to build any kind of business is like perseverance. You got to be able to take the gut check. Like, you got to be able to take the punches. Like, that's all it is like. And the thing is, if you start thinking, oh, I'm too good to take the punches, you're out of the game.
You're right. Yep.
And so in my mind, like, the punches, having to jump in on like a random conversation on Facebook or something, like, to me, that just reassures me that, like, this is one more level that I'm pushing through that our competitors are willing to do. So I embrace that. I embrace the suck. That's always been my thing, is like, I love hard stuff.
Yeah.
So in my mind, it's like, I think, it just, that reassures me that we're on the right track. Because, like, if we weren't on the right track, we wouldn't be running into these situations to begin with, right? You have to have users and customers to have people that are
to have problems,
right? Yeah. So yeah. I mean, I think it's part of the game.
Yeah, I look some of it when we deliver a video to a client. I'm so happy that people don't get a chance to see the comments we get back on, like, the original video sometimes we deliver to a client. Because it might take 5 revisions to get what they actually want. They might look at it and say, this looks crap, but by the end, they love it, And I look at your users similar, is that, yeah, okay, right now, you want this, we got to change that feature, make a revision, and then we're going to make the revision again. But the key is to work with a damn company that keeps making the revisions.
Yes.
You don't want to work with a videographer and a company that just says, okay, well, deal with it. That's the problem, deal with the video. We have to make the revision to make them happy.
Yep.
And I think that people come back to us, maybe the same reason, because they know, hey, listen, they've got my back. They're going to make the damn revision. They're going to do what they said they were going to do, not just, all right, well, deal with it. Yep. I think you all have done an amazing job with that. Every time you're out here facing contractors, getting better, you're at the shows, you're visible, you're not in your ivory tower somewhere, just saying, oh yeah, come find me, set a meeting. You're right here with them. I love that. I think that's what it should be about. I can't wait for y'all to have one of these huge ass booths and stuff like that.
Next year.
I know, man.
20 by 20 next year.
I know. See, that's because you're eating the crow sometimes. You're doing the thing that you're seeking to understand, like you said. And not a lot of people are willing to do that. They see a little bit of success and then they go, that's okay. It's good enough. And y'all are just committed to not doing it that way. I love it.
Checking boxes is for the weave.
Yeah. The seek to understand thing is just so key, man. Yeah. Seek to understand, not to be right.
I feel, yes, 100%. It's so, and here's the thing. It's so hard. Like, every single time when someone's like complaining and that I see something like that, like, it's so hard not to get defensive. Because that's my initial gut. Every single time it happens, my initial gut is like, well, they only knew. But then I have to, and I'm not perfect. I get it. I mess it up. But like, I think the conscious effort, That's the key. And that's what we've tried to instill across our whole team is like, yeah, I know it's hard. Sometimes you don't want to, but like you gotta be able to take the feedback and make the revision, which I love that about, your approach to that as well.
Yeah.
I think we share similar values on that.
Yes. Yeah, the revision side is definitely interesting because, exactly what you said. And I tell my videographers on my team, the time when you want to get the most emotional is the time when you probably should be seeking to understand exactly what they're talking about, because you're then emotionally attached to something that you did. You're not looking for what the client wants. You're worried about what your opinion is of it. And there were videos we put together for people. I'm like, I think that's not very good. I would never have done it that way, but they love it. And that's what counts. And I'm sure you all run into it where you're probably a feature you look at and go, I don't really think that's useful, but there are contractors that do. It's what they want that matters, not what I want. Right. And so we try to keep that in the forefront of when we're creating content, that it's our client's opinion that matters, not ours. And so if they see a trend that they want to jump on, I may not like the trend, but that's not my job to tell you what the trend is. It's to develop something that meets your needs. And so you all are doing such a great job of that. And there's some people, John was just here before, they stand behind you. They love it. I mean, when you've got
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
When you've got people that are in this vertical, that are getting out there and going, this is the company you need to work with. It's not just you and your ads. It's literally contractors saying that. Man, you're doing something right. You're building a little army of people that really believe and are behind you.
The ProLine Mafia.
But no, I didn't see that, honestly.
Yeah. John Sorry came up with that. It was his idea for
honestly, I don't know where this could show, but I did not even know that. I didn't even see it.
So we do. This is our
it's true.
Our customers that promote us the most online. Like we have ProLine Mafia.
Great idea.
But they
money.
I cannot tell you how many times when we have these posts come up, what's the best CRM, and yes, all of our customers are jumping in. Well, almost every time there'll be someone be like, "Oh, the ProLine bots are here." So it cracks me up, but it's no, they're genuinely our customers. We don't pay them. We don't compensate them.
I see the people. I know some of them that are on there. I know it.
And I mean, we have referral programs. If they got on a call with somebody and then got them to do a demo, we'll give them some referral credit, right? But everyone has those programs, but we don't compensate our contractors for jumping in on those posts. That's something that they do because they believe in what we're doing.
They do.
And I think as long as we then are true to them and are, fulfilling the vision based on their feedback, I think it's a loop, right? It's all, if we're helping them to achieve their mission and building something that helps them achieve their mission. And if we do that, then they're going to want to promote us online.
Yeah. So I just have one stupid question for you. So if you had to name it right now, because again, I'm working with the contractors out there, and I know John and people who use your service. What are you all the best at? What is ProLine when you look at these other CRMs? I know you sell more jobs. I've seen, but if you had to narrow down, we're just better, we're the best at this. What do you think it is?
So this is an interesting question.
Okay.
I'm going to take a step back and talk about business philosophy for a second. A lot of companies like to talk about, oh, we're the best at this or we're the best at that. I believe firmly that we should be the best at every single aspect of the business, whether that means the front. And this is a cop-out. I am going to answer your question more directly. But
sure, good.
At the top level, when it comes to service, when it comes to the product itself and the features that we offer, when it comes to even our sales and marketing process, I believe that it's our responsibility, if we're going to be fully fulfill and live up to the expectations that the market has, that we're going to need to be the best at every single one of these areas. So even in the product side, because I think that's mostly what you're referring to, when you break it down, there's marketing, there's sales, there's production management, there's billing and accounting. Those are going to be your big ones, but then you also have supplementing. So you have some other things that kind of come off, right? Yeah. That's the process. Right now, we are the best at sales. I absolutely am confident between quoting and estimating, the automations around sales follow-up, managing communication around the sales process. And that's really what we started with. Day one, when ProLine was just an automation tool, we were focused on the sales process.
Got it.
We do that better than anybody else. We are also, I would say, on par or a little better now than everybody else when it comes to the billing and accounting part. We've really invested in our QuickBooks integration very heavily and continue to make that better. But also we have a very robust payment processing and invoicing system that's just absolutely blows everybody else out of the water. So that, and then also the P&L tracking, the reporting around all that. The pieces that I would say we're not the best at right now, production management. Right now we're hanging in there, but it's not where I want it. We're actually doing a big focus on this over the next 90 days. So I'd say within the next 90 days, I will be able to say that we're the best at that as well. So we're launching a bunch of really cool feature sets. We've gotten the feedback. We know what the contractors need now. We've looked at, to the extent that we're able to, safely and legally, looked at what the other platforms offer, and we're now going to build an industry-leading production management system on top of what we have. And then the marketing piece too, we're a little soft on, like the front-end marketing, lead generation, website. Like we're going to be building that out as well. That's going to come later in the year, and that's where AI is going to come in a lot. We're going to be building a lot of AI stuff into that front-end marketing, like AI chat box, stuff like that. But that's something we're probably going to look at in the fall. Like going into spring, summer, we're very focused on production. This year, we've brought on so many contractors in the last 3 to 6 months, and we want them to be able to have an amazing experience managing their projects this summer.
Right.
So that's a very long answer to your question, but that's kind of where...
Well, one thing that sticks out to me there is I love how you talk in a matter of quarters, like 3 months. There are so many companies, next year we're hoping to do that. You're talking about now. I mean, 3 months is nothing. I mean, if people want to go ahead and get a change, the fact that you're saying, listen, 3 months it'll be this, and 3 months it'll be that, that's what makes it special, man. There's no red tape and 10 levels of BS to go through. It's just saying we're going to get it done. We know what we need to do, and we're doing it right now.
I appreciate you saying that. I think this is one thing. I haven't really talked about this before, but I want to point it out because I think it does make a big difference. To my knowledge, we are the only, and I may be wrong about this because I may be wrong, but to my knowledge, we're the only platform in this space, only CRM platform that has a co-founder that works on the project themselves. So we have a development team. It's not just me, but I will go home to the hotel tonight. I'll get on a call with our head of product who's also developing. I will be personally working on 1 or 2 features. There's a couple of things that our customers told me here that I'll be working on tonight. And so it's where a lot of other organizations, their leadership isn't actually in the product. They're not in the code. They're not in, so there's some distance, and then you're working with a team overseas on it, and they're just going to move slower because they're not, it's not their product. But when it's your product, it's we move fast because I want to move fast. And so I'll stay up all night coding if that's what it takes.
I like that.
And that's why people are always how do you move so fast? It's because we have an in-house development team that is that I'm heavily involved in personally.
Yes.
So
that in-house thing is just so key. Now, I'm a big proponent of that. Everyone on my team is W-2. They work for me because I want to make sure if I tell you it's going to be done, we're going to do it. I don't have to, and this morning, we were editing a video for Tamko. And we needed to get it out this morning. And they needed to add some disclaimers. We've done our things. But I don't have to call over to Thailand or Phuket or something so I can get, some edit done. I'll get it to you in 3 hours. It's my guys right here. We're going to get it done now. Yeah. And I don't think people understand the value in that enough. I think that there's a general misconception in the tech world, at least in media, that AI will just do everything. Oh, you just have an AI for that. No, I don't. I still got to get down. I got to sit down and work the problem through with 4 people. We're all going to work on different parts of it, and we're going to come together with a solution for you. But that takes time, effort, sitting there on phone calls till midnight and doing the things you got to do. It's not easy, man. And I think that what you said earlier about you still doing it, you're still doing the work. You're not sitting there. When you say that, I think how many other owners are out there going to parties, drinking it up. Okay, I listened to what someone had to say. Yeah, I think pass it on to Jeff over there. He'll do whatever. No, you're doing it. You're hey, I'm going to go home and I'm going to start work on this immediately. That's special, man.
Here's the cons. I'm not very fun at parties. I'm be real about that. That's the drawback here.
Okay.
But it helps me to serve the customers.
There you go.
Last night, I could have gone out. I went back to the hotel room and worked on a feature.
Yeah.
That's fun for me though.
Me too.
So,
I mean, I'll be down there. I'll get home tonight. I'm like, man, I saw some of these things people were telling me about a video, and I saw Links Roofing. I got to get that note in there about we're going to go back out there and do this video with the high school state champion. Like, that excites me.
Yeah.
My aha moment, I'm sure you have yours, but mine is when I get this guy. Like, there's this guy, Links Roofing, here in Texas. Never been on video before. And then he gets, you good?
yeah. We're good. Yeah. So making sure mine didn't flip over.
No, we're good. I think I'll put it right here.
Links Roofing.
Yeah, so Links Roofing, here we go. Just in case. You can see a light now. Here we go. So Links Roofing. So the guy had never been on camera before. And when he finally saw his videos, he's like, man, that was good. I look good. He wants to have us back. And you know what happens is that guy wants to show his kids and his wife, and he's proud of it, and he's proud of his brand, and he feels good. And we see that quite a bit, man. And that's my aha moment. I'm sure you all have yours when a contractor says something like, you've changed my business, you saved my business, or I would never be doing what we're doing now without ProLine. You hear that stuff and you go, okay, those nights at the hotel and me traveling like I do, or what you doing your stuff, that makes it worth it. That makes it something worth pursuing.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion.
Couldn't agree more.
Man, I love it.
Yeah. And there's something so fulfilling about that. It's like, you know, you're sacrificing your energy and your time, but then those aha moments, they're just so fulfilling.
Oh, it's great. And for us, it is that. And just, don't get me wrong. We're working with a guy named Sean Whalen contracted in Pittsburgh, and he's gone through the roof, and he's using the videos, and he's crushing it. But just as important is like he sees his kids in the videos, and he loves that. He's like, man, that's my son, that's my father, 3 generations right there. And thank you for putting that together. Well, heck yeah. That's cool, man.
Yeah. That's about those moments.
Yeah, they are. That's what keeps you going. But it's just
not to go down a whole other rabbit hole, but this is why I struggle so much with the idea of like allowing private equity to come into a business, like a business in general. And there's nothing against the way we have someone that we work with and partner with, but like, I feel like it's different for them. You know, it's like, it's more about the numbers. And it's like, I think being driven by those aha moments is what delivers like the spectacular results.
yes.
You know, like you have to be searching for that payoff to put in that effort. So
Yeah. And I think you're right. The private equity side, there's some great people out there, but I've made decisions in my business that would not have been made with private equity. That made no sense on paper. And those have been some of the most fulfilling times that I've had, because maybe I did a video for somebody who couldn't afford it, but man, the look on their face when they got that was cool. That made it worth it. There you go. Whatever dollar value you want to associate with that, I'm fine with.
Yeah.
And hey, I'm hoping not change that. I'm not changing my business model anytime soon. I like going out there. I like creating content for people who build something with their hands. Is it going to make me a millionaire? No, it's not. But for me, I'm okay with that. If I wasn't, I'd probably be trying to do AI and outsource everything, and I'd be trying to maximize my profits. No, I got good people. They work for me, work with good people, and I think that we can put hang our hat on that. I'm not trying to, like I said, I'm not going to be a millionaire, but I'm going to feel good when I'm doing it.
Dude, feeling good that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
It's the most important thing. So how do you sleep at night? Like how, can you lay your head down and be like, I did the best thing. I did the right thing here.
Yeah. And when you come to these shows, you know this, you can walk into here. You don't have to look over your shoulder at somebody you screwed over. I don't have to worry about walking around with my guys if someone walks up and says, why haven't you paid me or something like that? No, I run the business in a way that everybody on my team can walk around and feel proud to wear the logo and go, hey, we do right by everybody. And you all do it the same way. You're not perfect, but you do right by everybody. And you always have. And so I can't wait to see the success you all have in the next couple of years. You're already having it, but I think it's going to be exponential. And you deserve every bit of it. And I hope you all take the time to recognize that. You deserve every bit of success.
Thank you.
You
I
do,
appreciate it, Patrick.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And same back at you. We definitely need to do some collaborations.
Well, listen, I look forward to it, okay? Anything I can do to help you all out, I'm there for it.
Sounds good.
Well, good, man. Cool. Thanks, bro. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you
Good stuff,
for the
man.
time.
Yeah.